Hey everybody, Tom here with Green Mountain Projects, bringing you a product review video from Juggernaut Designs. This is a company that makes a custom retractable ratchet strap on a bracket. They have vehicle specific models, they have a universal model. So they sent me out 4 of their universals that we're going to put in my truck bed and check them out because they look sweet. So I actually reached out to them, which I don't typically do. Usually most of these products in my videos I've been reached out to from the company. But this is one that I saw and I just said this has to be on the channel and on my truck. So I said, hey, this is my channel. Do you want to have your product on? And they said, absolutely. So getting into here, obviously I've got 4 boxes because I got 4 sets. They also did send these covers which go on them. They're weather covers, so if you have an open bed, I do have a tonneau cover, so it's not as big of a deal, but it's still a very nice touch. So I got 4 of those covers. They kind of look like the things you put on dogs' feet, you know, dog shoes or whatever. But yeah, nice big Juggernaut Design sticker. If you don't have a sticker, you shouldn't be in business. So it does come with this little business card thing that basically says you're now the proud owner of the ultimate ratchet straps. And to help you get started, there's a handy installation video. You just got to scan this QR code, which that is super nice. I think videos, and that's why I do this, are the #1 best way to teach people, especially those who are visual learners like myself. So let's get into these boxes, see what these things look like. So here's one of them. So that is a pretty hefty looking thing. Basically it's a bracket on a swivel, so this thing can swivel all the way around. I do like it's not super loose, so it's got some memory to it, so this thing's not going to be flapping around in your bed as you're driving around when you're not using them. But there's a bracket that is in here. Yep, that would be it right there. So you've got this bracket here, made in the USA, stamped right on it. That's awesome. So what it looks like as far as mounting, so you got the cylinder here with threads on the inside. That obviously sits in this area right here. And then you've got these bolts that would probably be going through the holes like this. You can see there's 4 little dowels here that go right through this bracket. The point of this bracket is to have something that you can loop the hook around to and come back to. So you've got a hook right there. You've got a hook right here, which is pretty handy, and you can configure it in different ways per where you're mounted in your vehicle's bed. And I would say, just looking at these things, they look like high quality. You know, this steel, this is at least 1/4 inch looking at it, maybe even, yeah, I'd say that's 1/4 inch steel making this bracket right here. All of the brackets are made out of the same thickness of steel, which is awesome. This big chunk here is a nice big piece of, it looks like billet aluminum, and you know that's going to keep from rotting out. It's also very, very strong. And then the ratchet strap itself looks really good. So it looks like the brake strength of these is 1,200 pounds, which is pretty decent. All right, so we're gonna go get this thrown on the truck. These things are super simple. This, you know, you have the little D-ring loops that stick out on the side of your bed in the front and the back corners. So what you would do is you put on this bracket. Obviously you want to have the tie down facing where you're going to be using it. So if it's the back, you know, right corner of the truck, you would want to put the tie down, you know, facing probably the front of the truck, so that, you know, because your load would be up in front of this thing located like this. If you're putting it in the front corner of the bed, you're going to want to probably take this off, swap it around, have this tie down point facing towards the back of the truck because that's where your load's going to be. So with this, basically super simple. You have this pin right here with the 2 threads in it, which are obviously for the 2 bolts. You're going to put your bracket on here with your tie down point. You're going to take the D-ring and it's going to go into this slot here inside of this. And then this pin would go in and slide between, basically right here from the side, would slide right in here, so it's behind that D-ring. And then when you screw the bolts in, it's going to suck it up and it's clamp it really hard. And then that way it's completely secured to that tie down point, which is meant for a load. You're not just putting holes in the thin metal of the inside of your bed. See, they make vehicle specific models. So you got the Ram, the Ford, the Chevy. So it's going to kind of work with the vehicle's specific tie down system. But this is pretty simple. So let's go throw it on the truck. All right, so you're gonna need a 3/16 Allen wrench for these bolts here, and then this guy here. So I'm gonna have my tie down point here facing upward because that's where I'd most likely be hooking it. So we're gonna take this. You wanna make sure you have the design up where the bolts here. This is gonna basically be how it would go, just like that, but on this D-ring right here. So on this pin here, there is a little indent. Basically that is to help it kind of catch that D-ring that you're going to be putting it through. So you want to have that facing forward. And then you want to slide your bolts in here to find that pin. Try to grab the pin on each side. Once it's through, hold it still. Get it snugged up and secure. Alternate back and forth between the two. If you got one of these, you could always do that. Now take a look at that bad boy. That thing is secure to the point where it shakes the whole truck. This thing's got the ability to swivel all around. It can come out like this, turn around, go up, and whatnot. And then there you go. Then you got these bag covers which you can put over this. Helps keep the weather off it. Mostly it's meant for when the ratchet strap is retracted fully. So now you got a nice weatherproof cover on this thing. So when you're not using it, you're not worrying about it. Now we're gonna get our second one thrown on. Then you can pull it out, you can loop it around something, then bring it back to that tie down point out here. Now we're gonna heave our pack out box up in the bed right now. The ratchet straps, you could either, take it, loop it around the handles right here, put it back to one of your other tie down points or the one that's supplied. Loop it through the handle. Another option, since this is a tall one, is you can loop it over the top. These two together like that. And that's super, super tight, and that's gonna go nowhere. You don't have to worry about it flying out. Just the pure convenience of just quickly pulling them out, hooking them up, ratchet down, be done. And then when you gotta deploy this stuff, hit the button, it loosens it. They're gonna go right back where they're supposed to be, and then you're working. All right, and I'm gonna show you why these things are so awesome, other than how easy they are to install. I gotta pull it out. All I gotta do, hit a button, loosens it up, unhook them, that'll retract. Hit the button on the other one, that'll retract, and this bad boy is ready to go. And I'm done. Come back. I'm gonna pull the two straps out. I'm gonna hook them up. Usually I do this way if you're putting it over something. Do that. All secure. And you're ready to go. Simple as that. Super convenient. You don't got to pull straps out. You don't got to tie them back up after you're done. You don't got to untie them after you've tied them up from the last time. And you don't have to worry about them just having to, not having the time. You just throw them in the bed, they become a tangled mess. So these things are super, super, super handy. The red also matches the pack out boxes, which is kind of cool. I like them. Now guys, I'm here in the bed of an F350, and I like these things so much that I had to get them for the work truck as well. And look at these. I don't know why, but these are way beefier. These things are rated for 3,300 pounds, the ones for the F350s. They're, you know, a little wider. Like mine is about, I think, 1.5 inch strap or so, maybe 2. These look like 2. I think mine are like 1.5 inches. So you got an extra 1/2 inch of strap strength basically on these, the F350 model. And you guys can see here, you know, these things are pretty freaking sweet. You know, this goes right on the factory box link system. It's specific for Ford. It's basically the 4-screw system that it comes in the bed. So it either can be replaced, or if you do not have anything, so if it's just blank and it has holes there, you are gonna have to buy the hardware, but you can find those for like, you know, 15 bucks online. Built Right Industries had a package that I bought. If you're looking to add some straps to your Ford, I definitely recommend these as well as any other vehicle. These things are sweet. And this one's even got the hook back, so you can take your thing, put it right in it, hook it right back, loop it around, whatever you need to. Gets right up and nice and out of the way. So then you can throw your weather covers on, and these things are gonna last super long. Let me tell you, do not hesitate on ordering you a 2 or 4 pack of these things, because they are freaking awesome. All right, guys, that wraps up my video of the Ultimate Ratchet Strap by Juggernaut Designs. And let me tell you, the hype has been lived up to. You know, every time I see a product on like an Instagram ad, I get a little skeptical. You know, is it really as good as it says? And so these, you know, they really caught my eye, and I said I got to try that. You know, I'm glad I reached out to them, and I'm very thankful they sent me a few of these. I will say I really, really like these, and I'm going to use these very exclusively. With this, you should definitely go and experience this for yourself. Just the pure convenience of being able to throw a ratchet strap on something real quick. You know, it adds time back to your workday, it adds time back to your personal life, and it just, you know, you can trust this to not lose your load driving around. But go check them out. I got a link in the description. Also, if you're going to buy yourself one or anything on their website, you know, let them know I sent you. Basically, I got a coupon code. It is Green Mountain, not capital sensitive, and that'll get you 10% off these bad boys or anything else from Juggernaut Designs. So go check them out. Thanks for watching the video, and stay tuned for more like these.